everybody, it's Nate, and with me as always, my good friend Nash, and with me in person, my dear friend, John Thompson.
Absolutely, very dear friend.
Yes, and I am glad to talk about, this is a prototype of the Bad Cat Cub V.
It is still wet, yes. Careful not to touch it.
Yeah, speaking of this is different. This Tolex is different than what you typically find.
I found a company in Los Angeles that was making the Tolex for the original matchless amps.
Nice.
And this is, I think it's kind of technically a school bus sort of
yes,
material.
It feels familiar, and I feel like just kind of a little more academic and knowledgeable as I'm rubbing my hand across it.
Yes.
Not true, but it was fun to say. Anyway, moving on, leather corners.
Yes, leather corners.
And that's not even half of it. Just walk us through what's different about this iteration of the Cub.
It's kind of like my idealized Cub 4, which was one of my favorite amps, right?
That was the amp that actually got you into the Bad Cat family.
Yeah. The Cub 4 hand-wired. It's point-to-point hand-wired, just like the old school ones. Mm-hmm. It has engraved faceplate, like the old school ones. Mm-hmm. The eyes are back.
The eyes are back. And when you pulled this out of the box, I felt like you were like, this is a little lower than what we'll like it. It'll be scooted up a little bit. Yeah,
I'm going to scoot it up just a little bit.
This is a prototype. This is literally hot off the presses.
Yes.
Right. So the eyes are back. I love that. Hand wired. Love that. What else we got going on here? I see some old familiar friends here.
Oh yeah, EF86, 12X7, just like the old ones. Mm-hmm. One thing that's really cool about this though is that it has the second master volume like our Cub Player series. Mm-hmm. That particular feature for me it's a deal breaker for me personally not to have that. Because I like to have the ability to go, rhythm sound, lead sound, amplitude. It sort of decouples the idea of amplitude from distortion, right?
Well, and what do you mean by amplitude for those?
Just volume level.
Gotcha.
How loud is it in the mix?
Gotcha.
So if you want a solo, you set your master volume number 2 for your solo volume, master volume number 1 for rhythm volume. That way, if you're pushing with a clean boost, you're trying to get the same effect. Oftentimes, you'll get louder, but it'll be dirtier, and you may not necessarily want it to be dirtier.
Right. No, I love that. So let's just hear a clean really quick. So what do we got here? I'm on the neck pickup, playing Strat, Fender Custom Shop. Position number 2. I love that. Maximum chime just then. Did you hear that? All right, position number middle. I kind of don't play very good on the middle. I don't know why.
Nice little
I'll put a little ding in
there.
there. When in doubt, use a ding. All right, position number 4 here. I mean, that's what the kids want, right?
That's it.
I love that. And then finally the back position. I knocked it out of tune a little bit, but the good news is you get a little bit of a telly vibe with that, even on that. Talk me through, why is that? Why does that not sound so harsh and abrasive with that bridge pickup, which can sound strident, as you like to say?
Strident, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just a good circuit. If you use good caps.
It's a good amp, Nate. Next question.
Yeah. Good transformers, good speakers. The other thing, though, this is going to have, among other little things that we've done to it to modify it, it's going to have the buffered effects loop.
Nice.
So you'll be able to take all those digital effects and long cable runs as the kids are want to do. Us old guys put it all in front, but
Yeah, well, you know what's funny is, so John and I, just over the years as we've got to talk, and you chastised me one time because I wasn't using my tap tempo.
Okay.
Remember that?
I think so.
Yeah, I left that conversation, and you were like, what about the rest of your band, Nate?
You want them to come to yours?
Where's all the we talk, right?
Yeah, right.
We're using more and more pedals
than
ever in any point in history, and not just, the younger cats. I mean, like, how many pedals do you have on your board, honestly?
8.
Right.
Yeah,
right, and
8.
I think I've got probably 10, maybe. you know, and which to me seems like a lot. You know, I might have 12 on there. I don't even have to think about it, but it's packed. And I use every single one of them. There isn't anything that's like superfluous on there. It's all being used. How many pedals do you use?
I have 10.
Yeah. So that being said, what a lot of people don't think about is all of them little cables.
I feel like I'm missing a couple pedals now. If you've got 10.
Well, it's funny is the first time you and I ever talked on the phone,
Yeah.
I think this is the case, but I was having a problem with the effects loop.
Okay.
And what it honestly came down, it was a customer was saying, man, my Bad Cat's acting funny, blah, blah, blah. And so I called up John, and if you have an issue, and you're not going to, but if you did, technical support is going to go to you.
Yeah,
right?
I'll pick it up.
Yeah, and so he's like, well, he goes, just for fun, let's try some of the cables that are in between these pedals.
Oh, yeah.
You remember this?
Yes,
yeah,
I
and
do
that,
now.
that ended
Yeah.
up being it.
Just for fun.
Exactly. So a buffered effects loop, what that does is that helps sort of decrease the auditory effect of too much cable.
Well,
Right? That's not a good way to say it.
what it does, it just sends the signal all the way to the effect without any loss. Lossless.
That's awesome. Well, let's try some dirty sounds on this, and let's get another guitar here real quick. But Dami, it's something kind of like how you were talking a second ago when you're on stage and you're playing your rhythm sound, and then what would be like your lead sound after that. And then Nash, if we get out of control, just let us know. So this is like the rhythm thing here. And which pickup would you be on the Strat?
I like the bridge.
The bridge? That's cool. So it's just, it doesn't change the tone dramatically, it just makes it louder.
Makes it louder, which is what you want. You want to jump up in the mix without changing your sound drastically.
Yeah, it's not an EQ shift, it's pure amplitude. Just
Yeah,
That's awesome.
just louder.
Speaking of which, let's get something with some spank on it. Telly time, let's go.
take it down.
All right, it's telly time. And so let's start on the neck pickup. You know, one of the things that we were talking about, just what makes a Bad Cat, especially on the hand-wired series and up, there is so much articulation.
Yeah.
On one hand, it's very revealing.
Yes, for guys like me.
Well, for
For
everybody.
guys like you, it helps.
Well, on the other hand, is that if you want the articulation and string definition to remain there, even when you're got a bunch of gain
Yes.
and stuff, it's there.
It is there.
And it's awesome. But it also makes you really ensure that you got a good tuner, because you hear everything.
Everything.
Everything, right? Right. So this is neck pickup. Now that we're talking about tuning and playing, I feel like I'm under the microscope.
Wow.
Chimey. Chimey. Now, if you wanted to snarl that up and give it a little bit of girth, is this the EF86 still?
Yes.
Okay. Do you like that on a telly more
That's
so?
one of my faves. Yeah, I love that tube on a telly.
Is it true that so that tube just breaks up a little faster?
Well, it's a little hotter. You know, it's a little hotter at 12x7, so it's got a little more. To me, it sounds like it's got more highs, more lows, more mids, more everything. It's just hotter.
It's just
It's got
hotter.
more body. Yeah.
Yeah, and not necessarily louder. It's just gain, or is it louder?
A little bit of gain, yeah. A little bit
Yeah.
of volume, sure.
Yeah.
But it's just, I just love the way that it breaks up. So
Yeah.
smooth.
Yeah.
That's it, right? That's
a
the sound we're
good
looking
piece
for.
of
The
beef
heat.
jerky right there.
That is the sound
Yeah.
we're looking for.
So right now, I mean, cuts straight up and down, treble straight up and down, bass is straight up and down. I mean, I'm just looking at this going, honestly, you're getting a lot of tonal variation off 2 knobs.
That's
Right.
that's what we call a nooner. Everything is at noon.
Next guitar, I can't beat that. Let's go. All right, we got a Les Paul. You know what's funny is a lot of times when we talk about turning down the bass, that just don't feel right. To
Right.
us guitar players.
On this amp, with that guitar, it certainly helps. Yeah.
So, the instinctive EQ setup for a guitar is bass, no mid, treble, right?
Right.
But this is one of those you really have to allow your ears to guide your knobbery.
Snobbery.
Yeah, cool band name, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, how do you have this set here
I
for
have the
this
depth
neck?
down all the way.
Okay.
Right. So if you want to hit an E, I can move it up and show you what it does.
And I guarantee you, if you got this sitting at home and you're sitting there in your bedroom or your living room, you're gonna be like, man, I can't turn that down. That sounds awesome. However, when you get with the band, if you have a bass player,
You can pull some of that out.
well, and you can also turn some of it down because you don't want to stick your spoon in his soup, right?
I am in the Midwest right now, for sure.
All right, let's hear dial us up kind of a jazzy thing.
Sounds fantastic.
And my tone knob wasn't even rolled down at all. I could roll my tone knob
Tone knob.
down. Yeah. And you can hear that bass really thumping there. That's with the tone knob rolled down. But before, even then, it's still nice. And this thing will clean up. So middle position, probably same deal. Now that's a kind of a light gain kind of thing. What were you going to say?
There's an abundance of chime, but it never ever sounds like strident to me. And like when you did that thing where you rolled down your tone knob like on the Les Paul neck pickup, sometimes like I like that tone, but sometimes it just really washes out and does not sit very well. The way the mids are voiced, it was nice and punchy without ever getting too dark or...
No, I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
I think Nash
Better
is
eat.
better at describing this thing than I am.
He's
actually.
really
Yeah,
smart.
he's good
Yeah,
at
I
this.
mean, yeah. All right. Well, let's see what this thing will do, like in a high gain kind of gain all the way up, EF86, bass up, treble up, reverb, no! And then cut, if I want to get more bite, I turn it down,
To that way, towards you.
turn it up,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
That was dark.
Kind of grizzly-ish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It had a snarl to it. You know what? To me, if you want that, that's where the Lynx sort of like pokes its head around the corner and goes, hey,
Yeah.
how you doing? But what's cool about this, need I remind you that the amp that brought you to Bad Cat was the Cub.
Was in fact the Cub.
Yeah. And so this is the kind of Swiss Army knife of Bad Cat. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I was like
Yeah.
I said, it's sort of like the best way to describe the Bad Cat DNA. It's sort of all here, right?
Yeah.
You know, the chime, the sweet mid range, the tight low end.
Yeah.
You know, all of all that stuff we love. Though you and I don't visit the high gain stuff too often.
It'll go there.
Yeah, it'll go there.
It'll go there.
And we always clean up after we leave there, don't we?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. We're
Yeah.
good Boy Scouts
Yeah.
that way. Yeah, tell
But-
your friends. All right. So to that end, this is an awesome amp. I think you knocked it out of the park here, brother.
Thank you so much.
Well, hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about Bad Cat amplifiers, give us a call. Nash or myself will answer the phone, 417-882-7000. We will see you soon.